I got to congratulate you first off on this new show, this new docu-series, One Stage to the Next. First of all, can I just tell you how proud I am of you? You know, I've been following your music for so many years, and I feel like you're one of the few who's really been able to transition into bigger things, into TV and different things like that. I mean, I'm proud that you've been able to do.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
What'd you say? Sorry.
No, just as far as One Stage to the Next, I mean, you know, break it down for us, because for those who haven't had a chance to check it out, I mean, a lot of us know you for your music. How did you get into fitness competitions? When did that become a passion of yours?
Well, I've always wanted to do it since 2003 or 4, but because I was so knee deep in my music career, the trainer that I was training with at the time was like, "You're not going to want to do this. This is too hard," So he kind of discouraged me. But, as entertainers, we're constantly working out, training for something, training for a photo shoot. Plus, I was a 3-sport athlete. So, it was just second nature for me to train for something, like this. But I've always wanted to do it because the trainer that I had was a competitor. He was a bodybuilder, and I used to see all the pictures and the different people that he was training, and I was just so intrigued by the sport. But I didn't get the balls to do it. Unfortunately, until I was 42 years old, which is nuts, but better late than never, I guess.
One stage to the next. Obviously, we know you performing on stage many years. Just break it down. Which stage do you feel the most pressure on? Like, what is it? What's the differences?
I'd say the hardest stage is the fitness competition stage.
Right.
Which is nuts because it's very quick, but the build up to it is nuts. I mean, the training, and it's not artistic at all. It's not artistic. It's not creative. There's nothing creative about it. It's extremely technical. Now, the fun part of, the creative side of me comes on stage because, that's when you wear the glitzy costume and, the hair, and you get to pose and all that cool stuff. But that stuff is literally, I'm telling you, when I'm on stage, it's probably 10 seconds. I mean, it's really quick. Like, you get on there, they're like, "Thank you," So you train for months and months and months for 3 moments of 15 to 20 seconds, So that's, to me, boring. That part, I mean, if you look at overall, that part is, a harder pill to swallow. Where I've been performing on stage, since I'm a little girl, for Christ's sakes, and performing live and singing and creating albums since I'm 15 years old. So that has become second nature. That is where my heart is. Man, I'm in therapy on stage. I'm giving therapy, I'm going through mental, emotional roller coasters. I'm happy. I'm sad. I'm everything. And then I leave it there. And then when I get off the stage, I can go back to being whatever I was before I got on it,
Right.
So that is something that I have grown accustomed to and grown used to. That is in my DNA. That is something that, I wouldn't say that it's easy, but it's so rewarding. It's so rewarding that even the hard stuff feels easy.
Right. I mean, it looks tough just watching some of the clips. I mean, especially because when you're performing with music on stage, you're surrounded by your fans. You're getting energy from your fans. Fitness competitions is a totally different thing on stage. It must feel completely different, and it looks scary.
It is super. Well, I guess fear is not something that I have in front of people anymore. But naked in fear, naked and on stage is a totally different ballgame. Showing the people your butt cheeks on purpose, to judge and get their feedback. The only thing that makes it more palatable is the fact that I'm not the only girl up there. It's a bunch of us up there, and we're up there for the same thing. So, it helps. Whereas on stage, it's just you. Now your band's there, you have that support. But if the show is whack, they walk out saying Syleena was whack. They don't walk out like, "Oh, the drummer was terrible." They walk out like Selena's show was trash. So all the pressure is on you in your show. Whereas I feel like in a competition, there's so many girls, and by that time we're all so stacked, you know, and we work so hard. At this point, we just want to eat, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, we win, lose, or draw, we've won the body. You know,
right.
We've won the shape, we've won the figure, we've won the health, you know. So we win whether you get a trophy or not, you know, in my opinion. You know,
Absolutely.
for some people, it's not enough. But
let's talk about music a bit. Obviously, in the documentary, you know, your recording of the album "Woman" is covered a bit in there. You know, you released that last year. This year, you had the deluxe edition. I guess reflecting on that album, we thought it was a great album, one of our favorites from last year. Where do you kind of, you know, how do you reflect on it? How do you look back on that project?
I have to say, it's really painful because I dropped that album in 2020, January 31st, 2020. Yeah. So, you know, right after that, I was supposed to go on the road, but then COVID hit and took away everything that I had worked for 2 years. Yeah. In regards to that album. I have been working on that album since 2018. It took the promotion of that album. Not only did it take the promotion of that album, it took the eyes off of music, period. Yeah. The pandemic. You know, we were, you know, who has time to worry about music right now when we're just trying to survive? Yeah. Literally trying to survive. In that moment, catching COVID could have meant death for people. And it did mean death for people. And it meant death for people, even if it didn't mean death for you personally, it could have meant the death of a loved one, someone very close to you. And then we watched death on television, you know? Right. We watched people dying in social injustice. You know, we watched police officers killing people left and right. We watched protesting. We watched, you know, and things, people dying and protesting, you know, like literally watched death unfold on television. Then we watched our government speak death over our country. You know, it was just an awful year, you know, I mean, just all around. And not only that, awful in terms of all the people that were dying that year that weren't even affected by COVID, you know, we don't even speak of that. But, you know, musicians lost their job. They lost their stage. My talk show was canceled. Yeah. You know, I picked up Fox Soul, thank the Lord, but Sister Circle was canceled, you know, which was something that had been a part of my life for 3 years. It was canceled. No, thank you, ladies. You know, you were amazing. It was canceled straight away. No severance pay, nothing. They just canceled the show. So it was a lot of heartbreak. So when I think of the Woman album, I think of how many possibilities it was supposed to have. It was the first album that wasn't a chapter. You know, it was supposed to be my, you know, my step out on my own kind of, let's talk about, you know, woman stuff, you know, and it was just, the pandemic just stole it, you know? Yeah. So it's hard. It's hard for me to accept, you know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking of releasing a live album here on the same day, in our anniversary, like around the same time the Woman album was dropped, you know. But I'm also getting ready to record a new album. And it's scary because, like you said, the Woman album was so good. Yeah. And I was so, I mean, I don't know what else more I could say almost. It's like, man, you know, because you got to keep topping of this and topping and topping. So it's like, geez, I'm 14 albums in, you know? So, but it's all good. You know, God will figure it out.
Well, the great thing is, you know, even if people didn't get to appreciate at the time, you didn't get to promote it properly, you know, when artists like yourself release a body of work, it lives with us forever. It's out there. It's timeless. Yeah. I just went on Spotify and listened to your entire discography this week, and it's like, we always will have that, you know, and although there is one album missing, we won't get into that from Spotify, but, you know, it's just a reminder, like I gave myself a great reminder of how much great music you've given us. And I just want to thank you because you don't always get the credit you deserve. So thank you. And Woman is just another addition to that.
Thank you so much. Well, it's, you know, you guys, it's people like you guys and, you know, entities like, you know, I guess so, that have kept our music alive. kept, you know, with your listeners, with your viewers, your work behind the scenes, how you search, you research, is people like you guys that keep us alive, you know, keep some of the underground and some of the, you know, underrated artists, and then artists that are not underrated and underground. And just because pretty much we're all the same, you know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of opportunity in between us, you know?
Yeah.
But it's because of you guys, you know, entities like you guys, that we're able to continue to keep the interest of our fans and have avenues and outlets for our fans to, you know, be able to know what we're doing. You know, situation, we're right now, like right now, you know?
Yeah.
So thank you guys.
No, absolutely. And it makes it so much easier to support when artists like yourselves are giving us so much great music. And if you don't mind, I just want to shout out Chapter 3. Man, that is such an amazing album. Probably my favorite that you've done so far, but and you took it to another level on that one. I just had to give you props for that.
What's your favorite one on that one? Because I've been listening to that one out of nowhere for no reason. It's just been on my heart.
You know what song really hit me is the song Time. For some reason, it just you know what it is? Yeah. Such an amazing song. Wow. I just have to put that on repeat.
Listen, you know what I've been listening to, which is so weird, but I don't know. I play the intro song over and over again. The I really need your love. Tell me how can we go, babe? I play that over and over. I don't know why. It's just, I don't know that. And, you know, people slept on, we were joined at the hip, boo. You were like the soulmate.
Yeah.
It's like hidden. It's under, Still Open is a jam. But Joined at the Hip was a jam. And I was listening to that the other day, like, was really, like, I wish I could re-release it. You know what I'm saying? Chapter 3 was like a monster. I wish I could re-release that record. I mean, right now in this climate, it would murder.
It was so good. Such a, you know, diverse cast of producers. It was so well produced. Your vocals were on point. Like the lyrically, everything was. But...
It was right after Chapter 3. And you know what's crazy? It was right after Chapter 3. And it was supposed to be the one. It was supposed to be the one. And Jive dropped the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Just dropped the ball, you know. It's been some weird moments in my career.
It usually comes down to the labels. Yeah, exactly. And we got to give you props for being still here. Like I said earlier, like the fact that you've been able to branch off, you know, a lot of artists, let's not sugarcoat, a lot of artists who came around the time you did, I mean, where are they? You know, we still spread the word that they're still releasing music, but they're not really in the spotlight like you are. And that's such a special thing. And to me, I love where it started at, you know, when you got into R&B Divas. I really thought that was the perfect outlet of like where R&B needed to go to get that TV exposure. Yeah. I mean, reflect back on that whole experience a bit and how it even, you know, what your take was from it.
It was supposed to be our platform to present what our music is, where we get it from, this talent, these voices. You had amazing voices on this cast. And sisterhood within music. What it turned into was, and I won't even say it was at the fault of every, you know, of producers or whatever. I don't know whose fault who was at fault really, but because of the reality world climate, you know what I'm saying, at the time, it kind of ended up swaying to that catty TV. You know, when it was never supposed to be like that. It really was supposed to be a docu-series. Yeah. It really should have carried itself like a docu-series and been more of an informative, real life, almost like one stage to the next, you know, an informative real life depiction of what we actually go through, how music is created, you know, how Black women in the industry are painted, you know, in terms of personality and not getting paid the same as our counterparts in terms, you know, in regards to what men are that have the same type of record sales and all that stuff get paid. They get paid more than us, you know. Yeah. So it was supposed to blow the whistle on, you know, the struggle, being moms, having to walk with kids, you know, but I guess they didn't feel like that was important enough. They felt like we needed to fight, be stupid, you know, curse each other out and have a bad time. So scenarios were perpetuated to bring that to fruition. So it started off, though, in the beginning, the intention of it, I believe, was to do just that.
Yeah.
But the climate, I believe, made it sway a different route.
And I still think ultimately it was a successful marketing tool for artists like yourself, which was
Yeah.
great. I almost wish it would have been expanded on, more artists getting involved. Like I wish there was a male version we could have seen and things like that. But I totally, I totally get what you're saying though about the, being a little more catty and not about the process. But that's TV, unfortunately, sometimes. But I still think it
Yeah.
was great that you guys did it and we
I mean,
enjoyed.
I think if it came back, it may be better, in this climate because of what has gone on in our country, and, really just trying to get away from that whole fighting on TV stuff. Like, I don't think people really want to see that anymore. You know what I'm saying? We saw enough
Yeah,
in 2020.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
talking about, we saw
yeah.
a reality show that for your ass. I mean, the pandemic, you can't get no worse than that. You can go to CNN and get the real
Yeah,
reality TV. So I think, it's not, I don't think that's interesting like it used to be. People are sick of that. I know I turn on TV like, okay, this is too much. It stressed me out.
yeah, yeah,
So I think that if it did come back, and it did have an energy to really show the music and the beauty of what music does
yeah,
for people, and what it does, in terms for us, and how it survived the pandemic, and how it was the soundtrack of, what was the
yeah,
soundtrack of the pandemic, and what is the soundtrack of our lives. I feel like if we were in a predicament where a show could be presented in that light,
right.
I believe it would be amazing. I think that's more probably what you're speaking of, probably what you're looking for, those parts. And then it would push and promote all this music,
Yeah.
all this music, all these lyrics. You know what I'm saying? So
And it's very much needed right now too.
yeah.
That's 100% needed for R&B.
Yeah, man. And it could be women and men. It wouldn't have to
Yeah.
just be a straight cast of women. It could
Yeah.
be women and men, and just really showing us out on the road and all of that good stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The camaraderie, how we stick together, how we, if we're not, you'll have your little ups and downs, but it doesn't have to be so, throwing glasses and foolishness. To me, for me, R&B Divas was some of the worst behavior that I ever had, that ever had to have. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I mean, you're still, I won't be that bananas, but,
Yeah.
that's the type of stuff you ain't supposed to see. You know what I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
supposed to get people together behind the closed doors. But, it was there for everyone to see. And looking back on it, I don't think it was good. I
Right.
think it was awful, actually.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But, I just saw this question come up from one of your fans. What's the new sound of your new music sounding like? What direction are you going sonically? Can you touch on that? I know you mentioned you've been working on some new music.
I would like to go 70s R&B. I would like to give
Yeah.
I would like to give Marvin Gaye. I would like to give the soundtrack of the civil rights movement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like 60s, 70s energy in terms of the music, but 2022 lyrics. You
Yeah.
feel me? I am an R&B singer. That is rhythm and blues. That's where it comes from. I'm not interested in these new beats and new waves. Now, there are some amazing artists out that have some excellent music out. I absolutely love her. I
Yeah.
absolutely adore Jasmine Sullivan. And she to me gets it. I absolutely adore what's the one who sings Pressure?
Oh, Ari Lennox.
I love Ari Lennox.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love Summer Walker stuff. I love Janae Aiko. I adore Janae Aiko. So, and of course, Molly music. There's so many men out too. Khalid, is it Daniel Caesar is his name? What is
Yeah.
his?
That's just, yeah.
Yes. There are some guys out here that's turning up. Oh my God. So there's some great music out here, but I am from the old school. So I want to bring back the origin of the soul in the music. The soul is missing. You get it though from Anthony Hamilton. You're gonna get it from Kenny Lattimore. Kenny Lattimore's new album is amazing.
Yes, it
I
is.
love Kevin Ross right now. My God,
Yep.
today Jacob Banks is phenomenal. So there are, again, there's some good stuff out there, but I want to bring back that soul, that old soul, and then give them the today's events, today's feelings.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, I know you mentioned a lot of artists who you're feeling right now, and some of our readers, they get mixed results on them because what's missing and something you've always given us: singing. We're not getting real singing like we used to in the mainstream. It's just missing. I personally miss it so much.
Well, Jasmine is giving it to you. Jasmine Sullivan is giving it to you. Her is giving it to you. Those are the two that are giving it to you. Ari Lennox is giving it to you as well, but you just don't really hear it because the songs are kind of, trying to give you that commercial tease, some of her songs. But she could sing, these people can sing. What you are missing though is the Arethas. You're missing the Whitneys, you're missing the Mariahs.
Yeah.
And again, it's not our fault. These younger people's fault. The industry itself accepted the latter. It accepted and stamped it as what needs to be heard. So now people singing down to the floor is not popular anymore. Well, when I was coming up, if you couldn't sing down to the floor, you weren't popular.
Yeah.
If you think of Motown and you think of, if you didn't have that voice, if you either had a special voice or you could blow. You see what I'm saying? Like a special voice meaning Diana Ross. Diana Ross ain't blowing, but she's special. You feel me? Smokey Robinson wasn't blowing, but he's special. Ray Charles wasn't blowing, but they're special. So it just really depends. But nowadays the industry has accepted microwavable, easy peasy vocals and lyrics because it sells. You see what I'm saying? So they're always going to go at the end of the day with what sells. So it's interesting because even when I started, I would have all these songs where I'm singing up under the floor, but then you can't release that as the single because guess what? Guess who can't sing along with you? The public.
Yeah.
They can't sing along with you. So you would kind of release a guess what? Something that's easy, sing along. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just think the industry has created the tone and the way that the music has gone. But there are some amazing singers still out here as well. There's some amazing singers. They're just not getting the shine anymore.
Right. What's great though about, listening to like Woman, your album that came out last year, it's like a lot of artists from your generation, a lot of them are still chasing that younger audience. They're kind of, I don't want to say, well, I'll say it, dumbing it down a bit just to get a younger audience. You've kept it authentic. I love that about your music. Woman is just that. But talk about the pressure of doing that, because obviously doing something that's not popular is not always easy because, it might not catch on, massively. So how hard is it to stay true if that's not what people might be, gravitating to right now?
I can never not be me. It's just something that I don't know how to do or care to do. I feel like if you start being something else, then you're going to have to keep that up. And then that's not who you are, right? And I also have found that sometimes when an artist tries to change up, then the fans that they had, just because you don't know you had this many fans, the fans that they did have are now pissed. You see what I'm saying? Now you lost them, So you can though find a fine line between doing both.
Right.
For an example, and let's just keep it real. You can do it in pop music. You can't do it in R&B.
Yeah,
R&B
I agree.
are very different from pop. For example, Pink came out singing R&B music.
Yep,
Then
I remember.
Some.
I
Then
remember.
turned around. Now she's all the way down to pop music and all the way down to a whole nother genre. But she still blows.
Yep.
She still be singing. But she really realized this is the music I want to sing. Me personally, I I love soul music and R&B soul music, but I love Sade. That's my favorite artist of all time. If I could do a whole album that just sound like Sade, I'd be perfectly fine. But I know that my fans would be pissed. So I won't do that, but you will hear moments of it. And that's how I satisfy myself as well, because I'm important too. I have to be happy with my music because I have to want to do it on stage. So when you have songs like Time, you know, very simple, so in love with you, you know, but it's still giving you soul. You can give it, you know, you can still give it some soul as well. So I just feel like we have to, because artists still need to evolve with music.
Right.
But you have to stay true to who you are. You evolve with the times, but stay true to who you are, because you still have other fans. I think the artist that does this excellently, and that's not even a word, but does this amazing is Beyonce. Beyonce, Rihanna. Beyonce is the same voice from the beginning to now, but her music evolves, and it's okay. You know what I'm saying? She evolves. She evolves with the time. She evolves, but she's still true to what she has done. Now that's easier to do in pop music. You see what I'm saying? Because it's already popular. But technically, they weren't supposed to be pop. You know, they were singing black music, but it became popular. Popular is really not a genre. It's in terms of fame, you know, whatever's popular, i.e. pop music. So, but yeah, for me, it's just something that I choose to do for the fans that I have. I feel like they've been loyal, and I don't want to disappoint them. And I feel like it'll go slower, but at some point, at some moment, something's gonna that everybody can relate, and then they'll go back and then they'll appreciate what you've done. You know, just like with Jasmine Sullivan. You know, she stayed true to what she's doing as well.
No, I love that outlook, Syleena, and appreciate you for following that.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
We have just a few minutes left. Why don't you let us know, you know, what can we expect in 2022 from Syleena Johnson?
Well, touring. You can expect touring. You can expect more television. I love television, and I really want to get more into it. And you definitely, positively can expect another album, 2 more actually, to be exact. You're going to get a live album, and then you're going to get a brand new album. I'm actually in the process. I'm almost done building my home studio so that I can just be as creative and in a comfortable space as possible. So it's definitely going down. I'm never going to stop doing music. You're going to get more television, more shows. You're going to get more one stage to the next. You're going to get more Syleena Johnson in other components, but you're never going to not have the music.
I love it.
So when people always say, why you aren't singing no more? And I'll be having albums out and everything. Like the 9 album. People don't know about that Music Soul Child album. That album was the bomb. You know, y'all need to go Google. Y'all need to go down to the iTunes and get it popping, you know.
Yeah.
But I never stop making music. I have moments where I take off just like any other artist. But I'm never going to stop because I enjoy music. I am music. I love music. It's my DNA, you know. But I will do other things because I have, you know, a good time. I'm a creative. When you're a creative, you can just run the gamut in terms of creativity. You can act, you can sing, you can do whatever you want to do, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah. Just be looking out for me. Right now I'm doing a weight loss challenge. You guys want to get in a weight loss challenge? We're doing a 30-day weight loss challenge, actually. You can sign up right now. Go to my website, SyleenaMusic.com, and sign up, or go to my Instagram page. But just follow me on Instagram and all my social media outlets. I'm revamping everything, redoing everything. I'm also going to compete again this year, fitness competition. And then it's up and stuck. You know, we singing, we going on the road, we back on stage. Personally, I miss the stage.
Yeah.
I'm devastated. My life hasn't been the same without it. My MD is on here. His name is Les Cleveland. I think I saw him on here.
Yes.
You know, so I'm devastated that the stage has been, you know, altered for me. You know, I'm used to the stage. So I can't wait to get back on it. I can't wait to sing for you guys and give more music. You know, that's my goal.
Passion is so refreshing, Syleena. Love it. Thank you so much for taking some time out to speak with us again. You know, always great to speak with you and support. And wishing you the best this year.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year. Take care.